There are so many items that I feel like people buy new that they don't need to be buying new and that you can thrift instead. As a self-proclaimed thrift expert, this is my master list of items that I kind of just have going in my head, the things that I'm never gonna buy new and that you can always thrift. I hate when I see on TikTok when people are like, oh my god, you guys won't believe the best deal I got on this blazer at Zara. And I'm like, bestie, it's made of 100% polyester. It's not. It's just not worth it when it's fast fashion. So if you want to change your life and start thrifting and you need a list of things to kind of just like tell yourself you can thrift that, here's my list. And I think it's gonna be really helpful because if I was getting into thrifting, I would want to know what the heck should I be thrifting first from a thrift expert. So let's get into my list. The first thing that I think is just like a niche category that people need to start thrifting is blazers. I don't understand when people go to Aritzia and buy a $300 blazer. I swear they're like $200 to $300 for a blazer that's probably made out of polyester. It's not even wool. Oh my goodness, that is something you can so easily thrift. There is rows and rows and rows of blazers at every single thrift store you walk into. It is like the easiest item to thrift. I swear if you like walked into any thrift store, needed a blazer, you could walk out with one that would fit you. That is just something I don't understand when people buy new because I think it's so expensive and for what? The quality is not there like it used to be at Aritzia and you can find so many blazers. I found some of my favorite blazers that I have to this day like 5 years ago at my local thrift store that I just love the fit of and it's not something I wear every day. So if you just need like a good blazer, also you don't want to spend $300 on because you're not going to wear it every day, thrift it. I swear to God, that is my number one category to thrift is blazers. Second, going off of blazers, is jackets. We've seen the TikToks of the Aritzia blazer, the Aritzia wool coats being now made of polyester or like a blend or it's like a wool blend and it's just never worth the price. I don't even know how much they are. I don't want to know how much they are. They must be like upwards of $500 or something for their wool coats, which I think they're aesthetically beautiful. I think they look great. They are the styles are there, but the quality's not. And I think when you go to the thrift store, especially during the fall winter time, there are jackets upon jackets upon jackets. They have light jackets, they have suede jackets, they have leathers and furs. I don't think you realize the amount of jackets that get donated to the thrift store that are 100% wool, that are 100% leather, and you're not buying new leather, so you're not participating in the cycle of the leather industry, you're buying it vintage. It's just way better quality when it's vintage, especially when you have those items that are so expensive and they're not even high quality and you're spending so much money on them. I think thrifting jackets is just the best alternative. I can tell you a few of my favorite thrifted jackets. I'll insert some photos. One of them I got in Italy at a thrift store, very hidden gem thrift store in Florence when I was studying there. This beautiful rabbit fur jacket. Inside was rabbit fur, outside is suede. Like 10 euros. And again, way cheaper for the quality. Yeah, maybe it has like a rip in the lining, but it's not something I'm gonna wear every season, right? It's something you pull out, maybe wear, I don't know how many, depending on how many jackets you have. I have a rotation going for sure. But I've thrifted some of my favorite like fashionable jackets at the thrift store. I will say, going off of jackets, I have looked high and low specifically for Super Puff secondhand because I just cannot drop $500 on a Super Puff. I know they're maybe like $200 to $500. I just bought one secondhand for $70. The only thing wrong with it is the zipper's broken, so I can just get that replaced, and it's the waterproof long Super Puff in my size. So you just have to look, you have to dig, you have to search for jackets at the thrift store. I think it definitely, I don't find a jacket every time I go to the thrift store in the winter time. You have to go again and again, but some of my favorite items that I have thrifted that I wear so much are my jackets. I have this one with a leopard collar, as I said, the one I got in Italy. Just so many good pieces that they just look high quality, they're vintage, they're a cool story to tell them that you thrifted it rather than saying I got it at Zara. So, okay, next is jewelry. This is one that I think people overlook a lot of the time at the thrift store because even if the jewelry you're buying, like I know maybe buying earrings is like kind of gross to some people because you have to sanitize it obviously, like duh. Jewelry is forgotten about because there's so many unique pieces at the thrift store. Yes, sometimes they may be rusted, but a really hidden area of the thrift store that I feel like people don't take their time to look at is like the showcase. I found so many good things in that showcase section. I found like a Guess necklace, I found Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. I think jewelry is just like a lost accessory when you're thrifting. It's like in a separate section. Sometimes I forget to go look there, but I think jewelry is some of my favorite pieces when it's thrifted. It's just like, it means so much more to me. And I think when you buy things new, unless they're good quality, but every time I bought a necklace at like Dynamite Garage, it has tarnished so poorly. Like, it's tarnished so badly that I just don't want to wear it anymore. And I spent way more on that jewelry than I did on my $5 necklace at the thrift store. And I just have this here because this is one of my favorite prized thrift possessions. This is a Dior. You can see it has the CD here, and it has Christian Dior on this side. I don't know if you can see that. But I found this at my local thrift store. Yes, it's costume jewelry, but I think it's gold plated, and these go for like so much online. But this is like, it's such a fun story to tell. Like, I found this at my local thrift store. It's Dior, like $4. I just think it's more fun, and the only brand of jewelry that I bought new has been gifted to me. These are Ana Luisa. You guys know I love my Ana Luisa jewelry. They don't tarnish. They are like, if outright say they won't tarnish. You can shower with them. Like, I will be buying, and I will endorse Ana Luisa because I love their stuff. Same with my gold pieces from Majuri that I got over the years gifted. Love this stuff. Things that are probably better quality costume jewelry are at the thrift store than buying at fast fashion. Like, this is specifically a list of things you should not be buying from fast fashion retailers and instead buying from the thrift store. And that just includes like general costume jewelry, bangles. I got a full ass bag of silver bangles that I wear daily for $6 from the thrift store. Like, I could talk about this for hours. I could show you my whole jewelry collection, mostly thrifted. The only things, as I said, aren't thrifted were gifted to me. So if that doesn't tell you what you need to be buying, and I would buy more Ana Luisa pieces with my own money because I just think they actually are good quality, and I've tested them for myself. But I'm able to find mostly what I want at the thrift store. So jewelry is another category you should be thrifting, not buying fast fashion. Going off of jewelry, another accessory you should be thrifting is belts. I think this is one people just maybe don't really think about. I think a good example of people buying fast fashion belts is that like round, I don't even know how you call it, chunky belt that everybody has that looks the same, like the big circles, and like it's metal, and then it like you hook it on and like it's hanging down. I'll insert a picture. I don't even know how, I'm not even describing it well. I feel like everybody got that on Amazon, and I feel like you can tell. Belts are something that there's so many at the thrift store, and I found so many unique belts that are real leather for like $5, and it's like, I'm never gonna go to like Banana Republic and buy a $90 belt when I could literally just thrift one. And like, yeah, they may be a bit used, scuffed up, but you can always find good belts. I found so many. I don't think I've ever considered buying a belt brand new from a fast fashion retailer, because again, it's probably gonna be fake leather. It's going to wear so badly. It's just like another category. You can find so many cool chunky vintage belts, and it's just, again, another accessory, another story to tell people when they ask, oh, where's your belt from? Thrifted it. And it's just like, it's more fun to say than I got it at H&M, because then like, it just looks cheap. Like, you can tell. Like, I feel like it's when it's like also an item you can just tell is fast fashion, you can like so easily thrift it. I'm like, why would you even consider buying it fast fashion? Unless like you were in desperate need of something from Amazon. Amazon is also fast fashion if you weren't aware. Okay, and then another one is bags. Like purses. I don't think I ever have considered buying a purse from a fast fashion retailer, because to me, every single time I go into like H&M, like not that I go often, but purses look so cheap, and you just know they're gonna wear so badly. They're going to, like, the fake leather is gonna crease, it's gonna fall apart so easily. And I'm not about to spend like $30 on that. Like, I just don't understand why somebody would choose to go into one of those stores. And like, unless you needed a purse and it was like easy for you, of course. I swear all of my bags are thrifted or vintage. I feel like bags is a different category, because like it's not something you'd probably only buy fast fashion. You can buy like designer vintage bags, which is also a good idea. I would never buy like a brand new designer bag unless I really loved it. The only one I can think of it that I bought new is my Telfar, but like I've used that to death and it's still in good quality. Not saying that vegan leather is the most sustainable, but again, it's not real leather that I bought new. That's something I just don't care to do. But even all the bags that I've thrifted, my Coach bags are all thrifted. Some of my favorite pieces, I have a vintage Dior one from my grandmother. It means so much more when it's thrifted, because obviously they can like be a bit dirtier and need a bit more TLC than like buying a brand new bag. But if you don't care that much, like I don't care if it's a bit worn. I think it adds to the story of it. I just love thrifting bags. I think it's one of my favorite sections to look at because sometimes you just find like the best bags, like the Coach bags I found. They're just so cute and they are like it's just such a fun thing to thrift vintage Coach. I think it's just something that people really enjoy thrifting, and you just never know what you can find, and it's kind of fun to just like see what you can find because it's such an accessory that like you don't need a certain style of. You can kind of just go and see what you find. It's not something you can like really look for unless you're looking for like a specific black bag. I kind of just go and see what I find and then take what I never like need a specific kind of bag really. I just love my bag collection. I love thrifting bags. That's one of my favorite sections to thrift, but also one I would never buy fast fashion. Okay, those are like my specific items I would never buy fast fashion. Hopefully I've convinced you not to buy fast fashion. I'll insert some pictures of ones I have thrifted in each of those categories, but I kind of want to do like a general overall conversation. I think when you're wanting to participate in trends, like micro trends, like let's just take polka dots for example. Obviously the fast fashion retailers will be on that so fast, and if you're not, it's so hard with micro trends to know if you're actually gonna like the item and to get on it as fast as possible. It's really hard to know if you're going to love a micro trend. So in my eyes, it just isn't worth it to spend so much money on bad quality items for something that you don't even know if you like. I love experimenting with fashion. I love experimenting with trends. Sometimes I buy trend and I just don't end up liking it, but it's a different story when you thrift the trends. I think thrifting for trends is really fun, and if it's a trend that I can't thrift, like let's say bubble hems, that's not like a common trend you can thrift. I talked about that in my summer trends video. I'm just not going to participate in it, and I'm okay with that. I think just being okay with not participating in every trend and feeling the pressure to buy into every trend is really important skill to kind of, or a muscle to exercise, to like be okay with not being on every single trend. Like let's take, as I said, polka dots. I thrifted this super cute Laura Petites. Is this not like adorable? It's like a little jacket with this collar and these puff sleeves, and after wearing that I'm like, I love polka dots. Even if I didn't love polka dots after wearing that and like participating in the trend, it was $3. It's not gonna break the bank. It's not like I bought something new. It's not like I participated in fast fashion. I think thrifting trends is a really fun way to experiment with your style and see what you like, see what you don't like. Not that you should be like going and thrifting every single trend you see, but it's just fun to participate in fashion. A lot of people participate in trends to participate in fashion. I don't think there's harm in that. I think when you're mindful about your consumption, it's the number one priority. And in terms of Value Village, you can return items as well. So you could buy something, try and style it, return it, get something else that's more your style, and you're still buying something secondhand. And that is like utmost important. Thrifting trends instead of buying them at fast fashion retailers is something you can try to change if you are somebody who does buy into trends and micro trends and wants to change that. And my last topic I want to kind of talk about is like the fibers of these clothes that we're buying. If you thrift, you know the quality is just going to be better in most items. I think when you're thrifting, it's especially when I'm like looking at a specific category, like let's say I'm looking at cardigans, I'll look for something that's like cashmere or wool, just because in the long run it's going to break down better. It's not going to be as harmful as to the environment. Even though it's secondhand, it's way better than buying it from like Forever 21. Of course it's better, but I'm just saying when you're thrifting, look for these natural fibers, because in the long run it's still buying something that will biodegrade better than a synthetic fabric, and it'll just feel better on your skin. I think that's something a lot of people maybe don't really think about, just looking at like the fabric content of the items they're buying and knowing if it's more natural fibers, it's just going to not necessarily wear better, but just not be as harmful to the environment. It's just better to buy natural fabrics, organic cotton. Yeah, I always look for cotton, linen. Like I always try to look at the fabric content unless like it's a really cool piece and I'm like, I like it because of the style. But if I'm looking at like specifically cardigans, I'll look for ones that are that fabric, because it normally will feel a bit higher quality and like not so synthetic. Just with the recycled polyester these days, it's just, if you buy something at H&M that's recycled polyester versus a polyester piece at the thrift store, the polyester piece at the thrift store is still way better than the recycled polyester, because it's still synthetic fabrics that have been recycled. Like it's not revolutionary. It's better to just thrift so you're not participating in new cycles of consumption at a fast fashion retailer and supporting that corporation. Hopefully that makes sense. I think this was very like, felt like a formal discussion of fashion and thrifting, but I think it's really important to talk about consumerism and fashion. And as somebody who participates actively in fashion and could always buy less at the thrift store, I really do try to thrift things, and I really try to spread the message of like what you couldn't be thrifting. So if you found this video helpful and you like fashion and thrifting, I'd love you to subscribe, like this video, let me know your favorite thing that you've thrifted recently. I'm gonna be thrifting a lot this week at Value Village, so look out for some thrift with me's. I have not been to Value Village in so long, so I'm so excited. I will be back with more fashion content videos. You guys know I love talking and yapping, so I'll see you guys very soon.